Good evening, my fellow Long Island pickleball players. We have a very special guest tonight. It's amazing that we have her on. She's a homegrown Long Island pickleball pro. Thank you for joining. Make sure you follow us on YouTube at Frank Malillo 45421 to see this podcast. Remember, I'm with Long Island Pickleball Pros. I do leagues, I do clinics. I'm also giving out a $10 discount for Mother's Day. Make sure you go to my website, www.longislandpickleballpros, for a discount on my paddles. And I do clinics, IPTPA, PPR certified, and I'm also a coach for Duper. Sue, introduce yourself.
Hey, Sue Cormier. I'm a PPR certified instructor. My main spot is Topspin in Hauppauge. Wonderful new facility. So come on down for senior play, social play, women's leagues, all the good stuff. And I really, really want to welcome Amber. So happy to have you.
Thanks, guys.
Amber, so give us a little bit about your background, how you got started, where you came from, what made you pick pickleball, and how did you become a pro? Because I am absolutely gushing over you because not many pros come from Long Island. We just had that conversation. So, Amber, please tell us all about yourself.
Yeah, so I started playing tennis like when I was about 7. I
Oh, so
played
you're a late bloomer, 7 years old. Yeah.
yeah. So I played tennis since I was 7, and then I went to play at the University of Maryland. And after graduating, I was working remote and just kind of bored. I didn't play tennis anymore at all. So I was kind of not really doing anything other than working. And I was like, I'm getting so lazy. I need to do something. And pickleball started becoming like big right when I was working remote. So I saw my friends that got signed with like the PPA, and I was like, I didn't even know what pickleball was, to be honest. So it was very interesting. But they were like, you should definitely go play, you'd be good. So I signed up for an open play literally that same day. I ordered a paddle the next day and I became obsessed.
So wait, step back on. How did you get signed by PPA? I mean, did you ever go
No,
through
I didn't. My friends were.
wait,
Yeah,
your,
my
Yeah.
friends were signed. My friends got signed. Yeah, so my friends were signed by PPA right when that initial Kickstart signing became a thing, where like they signed a bunch of players. What was it, like 3 years ago now?
right?
So I didn't even know what pickleball was when they got signed. I had no idea what pickleball even was. I'd never even heard of it. So I just texted them and was like, guys, what are you doing? Like, what is this like signing? And they were like, yeah, we're like they were all like around, like I would say a little bit better than a 5-0 at the time. And they were like, we've been playing for a little bit and we just kind of got lucky, like PBA signing players and they need players. Because pickleball was like becoming big. It wasn't really huge yet. So they were like, yeah, you should definitely go play. So that's when I kind of started, is around that signing period. But I had just started, like I didn't get signed.
So how did you go from let's say a 3-0, 3-5 tennis player to playing pickleball to like a 5-0? How long did that take us? You got to take us through those steps. Your
Yeah.
friend said play pickleball. How long did it take you to get to the 5.0 level?
It didn't take me long, but because of my tennis background, I played at Division 1 for college with tennis. So I was a pretty like high level tennis player, and I feel like it transitioned over pretty easily. Learning the dinking and the soft game took a little bit of time, but I feel like I probably started off around, like, if I had to guess, like a 4-3, 4-5 ish. I probably started at that level and then probably got to like a 5-0. I would say in a few months, maybe a little bit longer, but it didn't take, yeah, it transitions pretty easily. But then getting even better, I'm still learning.
So wait, so 3 years ago, within 6 months, you became a 5-0.
So I started pickleball, it'll be 2 years in May. So it hasn't even been 2 years. Yeah, it hasn't
Yeah,
even been two
that's
years yet.
amazing. So I know that when I'm teaching tennis players, certainly not at your level, but women that have, played tennis in their 20s, 30s, 40s, now they're, 40, 50, 60 years old, I find that I have to literally break the tennis out of them and
Yeah,
replace those skills with pickleball. So
yeah.
what were your challenges to overcome some of those big tennis swings, those big power, pulling your paddle back? How did you overcome that? And did you find that challenging?
Yes, I would say it's actually the most challenging part, is coming.
Yeah.
So coming from tennis, I think it's really transitioned well for my singles game. I learned singles and got pretty good at singles very quickly, I would say, compared to my doubles. My doubles took a little bit longer, and I'm still working on my doubles, just because of how like this slower the game is compared to tennis. And you have to, like you said, you have to unlearn how to,
Right.
you don't hit normal
Yeah.
tennis volleys in pickleball. You have to dink, you have to do the soft game, and there's no such thing as dinking in tennis. So you have to kind of like retrain your brain to slow down and make better shot selections and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, that took the longest for me for sure.
I hope
So
my players really, really heard what you just said. You have to dink, slow it down, stop with the big swing. That is so important.
Yes, but in the same
For
regard, I will say like the game is getting faster, especially at
yes,
the
it
pro,
is.
yes, at the pro level. And that's probably one of my strengths, I would say, in pickleball is like I hit pretty like big and hard and I like to speed things up. So I would say like yes and no. Like you need to have the slow game and you need to be able to dink and you need to be able to hit third shot drops consistently, but at the same time, use your strengths and your weapons, to your advantage. So it's okay to play fast sometimes. You just have to kind of know your opponent as well. I think all that kind of stuff matters.
Absolutely.
So now coming from tennis to pickleball, what did you find was the greatest advantage that you had um, transitioning from tennis to pickleball? And what did you find the most challenging? So just give us an idea real fast about what you found transitioned well.
Definitely singles. So my singles game, it transitioned pretty easily. My ground strokes, I have pretty big ground strokes from tennis. So I think that really transitioned pretty quickly for me.
But how about the actual striking of the ball? I mean, was that a challenge for you? You strike the ball differently in pickleball than you do in tennis.
So
And the
it took
paddles,
it took a little bit, but just because of the shorter paddle. So I remember when I first started, I would whiff a lot, and I was like, it looks so easy, but you're so used to a tennis racket, like a bigger, heavier
Hmm.
racket in your hand. When you switch over in the beginning, I remember being like, it looked so easy, but I was like whiffing overheads, and I'm like, what am I doing? Like, this is crazy. But once you get used to it, like if you were played any racket sport, I tell people it'll help you in any type of way. You might have to unlearn some things from your racket sport, but it's also advantages because you can learn quickly.
now, how did you play tennis? Were you a singles player in college? And what level did you reach when you played college tennis? Were you a singles player? What kind of accolades did you get? What kind of awards did you get?
Yeah, so I played singles and doubles in college. I got injured a bunch, so I actually did 6 years in college. Believe it or not, it's crazy, but to think
Hmm.
about now. Yeah, so I had wrist surgery my freshman year, so that took me out. And then in the middle of my junior to senior year, I got my disc herniated in my back twice.
Well,
So I got 6 years of college back. So I got 2 years back, and I graduated from Maryland and I ended up playing at a smaller Division One called Mount St. Mary's. So I played number one for them,
number
and
one singles or doubles?
singles and doubles.
Number one singles and number one doubles.
Yes, so I played one for them, and I ended up getting NEC Player of the Year, the first
Impressive.
ever in history. So that was really cool. So that was exciting, especially after all the injuries, to be able to come back and do something like that. It was great.
So, in terms of transitioning over to pickleball, explain to us the steps you took to become a pro and what you had to do to prepare yourself to become a pro. And what's it like being a pro?
So honestly, I never even thought about being pro. I'm not even like I just was like I want to do it for fun and kind of get out of the house while I after work. So I honestly just started for fun. Just I played, like I said, I started 2 years ago in May. So the May APP in New York City was my first like real pro tournament, which
Two
was
years ago.
yes, which was probably like a month after I started playing. So I did sign up for it and everyone was like, you should sign up for like the 5-0. And I was like, why not just sign up for the pro? And like I'm still paying like almost the same amount of money. Why not just do it? Like it's here. So everyone was like, you're crazy. And I'm like, why not? Like it doesn't matter. So I signed
Good
up
for
and
you.
yeah,
Yeah.
I was like, who cares? Like if I'm doing 5-0 or pro, it's like, okay, if I lose, I lose. So I did sign up and I was in the like I had to play qualies for both. Made it. I won my first round in qualies, and then I played the one seed in qualies and lost pretty close. And I remember like ended up with singles, and I just remember being like, wow, like because she was good, but I was like, wow, like I've only been playing like a month and a half, and I felt like I could
That's
do it. Yeah,
amazing.
yeah.
Wait, you've
Yeah.
only been playing a month and a half and you
Yeah,
signed up for the 5-0 or 6-0 level
yeah. So
at New
in
York
my
City?
head, I'm like, you're spending the money, like why not? And like I knew I could
Just
like
go
hit.
for it.
Yeah, I was like, and at the time I wasn't like thinking anything of it. I'm not like, oh, I'm gonna go pro. Like I'm just thinking it'll be so fun, like just an experience. So I just signed up and I was like, let's have fun, like whatever. So I ended up winning my first round and then losing a close match to actually a girl I just played 2 weeks ago. So it's funny, like the it all comes back
It
around.
comes around. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah,
What
so
was
I
her name,
lost
by
pretty
the
close.
way? Who was it?
Madalena Gregoria. So she's top in APP. So I just played her actually like literally 2 weeks ago. I played her at the first APP of the year, this year, and I ended up winning. So I was like, it's so funny, like
Yay.
no,
Yeah.
she's a great player, but it's
Yeah.
like it's funny how like like back then I'm like, wow, like and I remember she actually after the match she told me like, oh, like you should stick to it, like you're gonna be really good. So like shout out to her. So she gave me a little bit of confidence.
Nice.
Yeah,
Wait, did you
but
tell that was that first time you played her 2 years
yes,
ago? And you
yeah.
told her I just started playing
No,
30 days ago.
no, I didn't tell her. I said like I'm newer, but like I
Right.
wasn't like thinking I'm ever gonna play again, like a pro tournament. I wasn't really thinking about any of that. Just playing for fun. But I do remember being like, oh, like I could probably like win a few rounds if I like, really tried and like stuck to it. So it's interesting. Um, but yeah, so that was my first tournament.
Congratulations. Amber, I'd like to ask you when I'm teaching, again, ladies that have played tennis, men that have played tennis, can you give me a couple of tips when they're beginners, when they first, I can't play tennis anymore. I got bad hips, shoulder. I don't have time. I hear so much. My friends down in Florida all play pickleball. I want to be able to go on the court with them. Could you give me a couple, like say, three beginner tips that you would say to introduce a former tennis player on playing pickleball?
Yeah.
What would be the three things you would say to a beginner, advanced beginner, or an intermediate to transition
I would
successfully into pickleball from tennis?
I would say first, work on the slow game. So like most tennis players know how to, they know how to hit a ground stroke, they know how to hit a fast ball,
Yes,
but
they do. Yeah.
yeah. So so I would say first work on just any parts of the slow game. Work on the drop shotting, the dinking, all that kind of stuff. Just really focus on that. And then once you get good at all those shots, then you can work on, making the right choices, when to speed up, when to work on your shot selection. But I think in the beginning, just really, I tell everyone just focus so much on dinking because it looks so much
Good.
easier than it is.
Yeah.
I still am like, oh, like
Yeah.
if I make a stupid dinking mistake, I'm like, how do you do this? Like you were a tennis
Right.
player, you
Same.
know? Yeah.
Yep.
So I
So
would just really tell people to focus on that in the beginning and drill a lot. Like just go out there, like find a partner. It doesn't matter what level and just drill.
It's so hard to
yeah.
get beginners and advanced beginners to drill.
Yeah.
I want to come on the court. I want to spend a half hour drilling and a half hour or an hour playing. But they're like, no, I just want to play. Let's just
I
play.
was
And I'm
the
like,
same, so
yeah,
I understand. I understand, but it really does make a difference. I still don't
thank
want to
you.
drill.
Yeah,
I
I
still
know.
don't. I still struggle
Me
to, but
too.
it
Yeah.
really like I'll notice. I'm not even kidding. From two times drilling, like a difference in my game. Like feel more confident in my shots and just getting that repetition because you don't realize like in a rec game you're not getting that many balls compared to drilling. You're getting constant balls and then
Exactly.
yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
so what is your daily training regimen like?
Could be a lot better. So
Well,
I
you
was
still have a
telling you,
full-time job, right?
yes,
This
I
is
was
not
telling
your
you before.
full-time job.
Yes, I was telling you before I work full time. So I usually get done with work around 5. I do try to play like 5 to 6 times a week. So I do try to play more than what I was. Honestly, before I was really like before this year, I would say I was really only doing like 3 times a week. This year I'm trying to take it a little bit, a little more serious compared to last year. So I would say I try to play 5 to 6 times a week, and 2 times I go to the city after work, Monday and Tuesdays usually, and we have a really good group there, bunch of good like 5 plus guys, and I play with Kelsey Grambo from New York. So that's a good group that I have going. And then the rest of the week, I'll drill maybe once a week, or I'll get some singles games with a local like guy here. So just kind of mix it in. But I need to get better at my fitness, I noticed, for my singles game. I definitely need
What
to
do you
start
do
adding
for
the gym.
drills though? How do you drill? How does a 5-0 player drill to get better?
So what I do is like I like to first play like if I'm for example playing singles and it's just one on one, I like to play, an hour of singles and then like an hour of drilling maybe after. So I like to just work on everything that I notice in my games that I need to improve. So like for example, if I notice like the last tournament I missed a lot of dinks, I'll run dink patterns and really try to mix up spots, just get that repetition. And then also like I know people always say like you need to work on the things that you need to get better at, but I also encourage people to really work on what they're good at as well. Like if you have like, for example, my backhand, I love my backhand. I like to like work on that even more because I want to kind of perfect it. Like don't stop working on the things that you're good at because it can get even better where it's like such a strength and a weapon. So I also encourage people to do that.
Now, in terms of people starting out, so I teach a lot of beginners, a lot of advanced beginners, and then I drill the people who already know how to play the game. The way I drill with them is I do drills from the baseline, I do drills from the no man's land, I do volley
Yeah.
drills, and then I do the volley drills from the baseline and the volley drills when we're both together on the no volley zone line.
Mhm.
How would you teach people to play the game, beginners and advanced beginners? What do you see as their biggest weakness and how to get them to get to another level?
I think well, I keep saying this, but the slow game. So like I think just, the top spin and all those like little things can come eventually, but you have to know how to hit a third shot drop. You have to know how to dink like repetitively. Like you can't just, go into a game and just keep swinging because people at the 3-0 plus level, they can handle like you just swinging, they get used to that power. So I just really, really think like to get better, you have to just keep telling people just work on slowing the game down. Just slow it down in the beginning. And then once you get better and better, that's when you can just keep speeding up and doing all the other stuff that you want to add into your game.
What's the best
Right,
part about being a pro?
get the
Okay.
soft game down first,
Yeah,
and then that's what I like to teach too. Then we can add to it.
exactly.
I have this discussion a lot of time with the instructors that I know with Frank. At what point do you think you should introduce a beginner to the third shot drop?
That's a good question. So like, I started off pickleball kind of like not third shot dropping at all. It was always a thumb shot, just
Just
Right.
driving.
Yeah,
yeah,
just driving.
yeah. So I think if I tried learning the third shot drop sooner, the better.
I
For
totally agree.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it took me a while to unlearn that, but I think if someone told me like, listen, that's not going to work, like sooner, it would have
Yeah.
helped me. I think I would have gone probably better at doubles quicker. So I think as soon as possible, to be
I,
honest.
I agree. A lot of my friends that are instructors think I introduce it too soon. But I like to introduce it at the end of a 4-week clinic, a 6-week clinic, whatever, that my last lesson. Just be aware of it so that you can just,
Exactly.
it gives good court awareness and a little bit something for them to go forward to think about.
I agree. Yeah, and like you can start off, I like to kind of start off dinking and then backing it up where it's kind of like
Yeah.
I try to tell them it's like kind of similar to dinking, so it's easy for them to understand.
It's
It's
just a
just a
long
little bit
dink.
more. Yeah, it's just a
Big
little
long
bit
dink. Yeah.
exactly. So I think starting off with dinks is good, and then you can kind of learn the third shot drop and kind of progress.
I kind of tell my people the third shot drop, it's not like Bigfoot. It does exist. It
Yeah.
is real.
Yeah.
It does work.
Yeah, and
So
like I said, like I hate that I'm keep saying that you have to really slow it down because once you do, but you do in the beginning to learn how to do those things. But like I said, once you do know how to do that, then you can still play your game and be aggressive. It doesn't mean that you have to third shot drop at a time.
right.
Yeah, I think sometimes people take the dinking game to another level in terms of I'm just going to keep dinking, and I'm like, dude, the ball's above the net. Just drive the ball, drive the ball, drive the ball. And they're like,
Yeah,
I'm just going to dink it. It kind of, and then I tell them, I
exactly.
think dinking's overrated, quite frankly, but
Yeah.
drive the
No,
ball.
for sure. Like at the pro level, like you'll see like chaotic like pickleball work. Like it really does. Like, you can mess up great players by playing kind of chaos. Like so it just really depends on matchups too.
So, what's the best part about being a pro, Amber?
I love just traveling and just like being able to go places again. I kind of feel like it reignited that like competitiveness in me. So I love being able to travel and meet new people and compete.
When
Now,
you when you play mixed doubles, I'm left-handed, so I have a personal interest in this answer because I stack. Because being lefty, I try to, if If I'm playing on the left, that ball is just going to get driven down the middle because there's no forehand. When you play mixed doubles, do you stack, and how do you, being a woman to woman? Sorry, Frank, you're out of this question. How do you
We're
feel
running
about,
out of time,
do you
though. I
let
just
the
want you
do
to
you
know.
let the male forehand dominate, or do you stack? How do you what's your court positioning in that scenario?
Yeah. So I like that's similar to kind of just depends on your partner as well.
Right.
So if you have like a very aggressive partner who likes to take over the middle, by all means, if you have a great partner, you have a great partner, let them take that shot. I have a really good backhand. That's probably my biggest strength in pickleball. So like a lot of guys will notice that and like, they'll be like, okay, you can take over a little bit more. So it's kind of just learning your partnerships and like
Yeah.
knowing your play.
Communication, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It's just knowing your partners, like if I trust my guy, I'm gonna let him take over, and if he's not playing well and I can step over a little bit, it just really depends on your partnership and who you're playing with. But yeah, usually yes, in pros, I definitely do stack. But if there's a lefty, you're gonna play left and you stack the other way. It just really depends. But
Right.
usually at pro level, we're stacking.
Now, is there with the pros though? Do they sort of like what's it like playing with the pro? What's it like communicating with the pro? Are some better than others at communicating? Are some players different than other players?
Yeah, for sure. It's the same anywhere in life, like work, everything. Everyone's different. Everyone has different personalities on court. Some people are more outgoing, outspoken. Other people are very quiet and they don't say come on. Others do. So it really just depends on who
Right.
you're playing with. So, but yes, everyone's definitely different
Who's your favorite player?
to play with.
Yeah.
So far for mixed doubles, this year I just played my first two tournaments of the year with Daniel DeRosa. He was an insane racquetball player. He was one in the world at the time, so that's been cool. But he has been so much fun playing with. I've really enjoyed it. He's a great player and he's just very positive and just a good person to be around.
And what would make a good player to be around? What does he do that makes it different than the other players?
He just kind of takes the pressure off of me. He never gets upset. I can tell he's not really mad at me if I'm making errors. He's just really positive and, we'll take a time out and we'll just come together and talk it out instead of, you can tell kind of someone's a little, mad or annoyed how you're playing, but he never ever shows it.
So, what's the biggest challenge of being a pro? What's the part that you don't like?
The cost.
Yeah.
It's not a cheap sport. It's not at all. It's very expensive. Registration fees are crazy.
Um,
Yeah.
and I didn't know that.
How much
Yeah.
is crazy?
So it depends on the pro tour you're playing on.
So
Sorry.
you just participate in the U.S. Open Pickleball Championship. Give us a little description on how that went for you, singles and doubles,
Yeah, so I
and
play
what was
all
that
three
fee?
events. So I play all three events. So I'm one of the more expensive people just because a lot of people maybe don't play singles, they only play mixed doubles and women's doubles, but I do play all three. So registration for that is probably like you're looking at like 125 each event. So it's around like $500 to $600 per event.
So how did you do at the U.S. Open?
I did really well. So I played women's singles. I made to quarterfinals and I lost to the girl that made it to the finals, 16-14 in the third.
Oh,
And who
So
was
impressive.
that?
yeah, it was Sion Mendez. So she's also top in APP. She won the last APP of the year, and I had a lot of match points. So that one, it really hurt. That one hurt. Yeah, that one, I was up
Wow.
10-7 in the third. So that was a tough one. I lost 16-14, but it was a great match. And you just keep learning from it. But yeah, so I lost in the quarterfinals for that one. And then in mixed doubles, we made it to the round of 16 and we played Megan, Fudge, and Richard. And we lost a tough one. My partner was he hurt it. He pulled his back the week before, so he was a little, hurt and injured, but we played
Injuries are
great.
tough. Yeah.
Yeah, so we played great though, and we had first really two good first round wins. So it was fun. It was a fun week.
And so who was your female doubles player?
I played with Kelsey Grambo from New
Kelsey.
York. Yeah, from New York, Grambo.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Good.
We lost in the round of 32. Close though. It was like 11-9, 11-7, I believe. So that was a tough loss, but this is our first year playing together as well, so we're still learning.
So if you took U.S. Open as a learning experience, what did you learn the most?
I would say like just little things, like my fitness definitely. I think I can get better in my fitness aspect. I was right there. I had match points, but I definitely felt gassed in that third set. And, it's hot. I'm not used to playing outdoors. So now with summer, I think it'll be really like beneficial for my game to be able to, get some outdoor reps. But just little things like that, working my fitness, my mental, being able to close out matches.
Now, you would think being a tennis player and playing at a high level in tennis, right, that you are competitive toughness, right? Tournament toughness is what it takes. You
Yeah.
still find that to be a challenge?
Yes and no. I would say it's different. The sport is just so different, but I would say I definitely put less pressure on me in pickleball just because I do work full time and I did it really more for fun. I never thought I'd be, playing professionally. And I look at more now as like kind of like a privilege and just fun to be able to compete again. So I think I definitely put less pressure on myself compared to what I used to. And in tennis, I would beat myself up a lot more, but it still hurts to lose. No one likes to lose.
No, no. And as I
agree.
tell people, it's more fun winning than losing. I mean, you can have
Always.
fun losing, but I got news for you, man. I love winning.
Yeah.
We only have a few more minutes left. Amber, what's the next step for you? Where are you going? And plus, you just got engaged, right?
Yes, yes, I did.
Congratulations.
Thank
Let's see the ring. Do you have it?
Yes.
Let's see.
Oh,
Oh, I'm putting my
awesome.
glasses on. Beautiful. Congratulations.
Thank
What's
you.
next for Amber Policare and
So
pickleball?
I'm definitely going to keep playing the rest of the year and seeing how I do. I played 2 tournaments through the year so far, and they both went pretty well. So I'm excited to see the rest of the year, but going to play a full pickleball schedule still. And at the end of the year, I'm going to probably determine. I definitely want to keep playing, I think, but see, where it takes me if I still want to keep playing pro. But it looks like I think I would want to, so I'm excited.
Cool. Now, which is your next tournament? And how do we
I
follow you? So give us a little couple of plugs on Amber. What she's doing next? What's the next big thing for Amber? Give
Yeah,
us a
I'm
few
playing.
plugs.
So I leave Wednesday for APP Sacramento. So that starts next Wednesday. Well, I leave next Wednesday, starts next Thursday. And then yeah, you can follow me on Instagram. I usually post a lot of pickleball content there. So it's AN Policare, my last name.
Will you also mention the Long Island Pickleball podcast for us? Would you do that?
Of course.
Awesome. Awesome.
Gotta give it a follow, guys.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. Thank you. We're just about out of time. I want to thank Sue Cormier, my co-host. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
A big shout out and a big thank you to Amber Policare, my favorite Long Island pickleball pro, my
you.
favorite of all time.
It was so nice meeting you, Amber.
It was so nice meeting you.
It's
Thank
been
you
a
so much for
pleasure.
having me, guys.
I'm gonna keep my eyes on you. I got
Please
you.
do. Thank you.
So, guys, make sure you follow Long Island Pickleball Podcast. It's at Frank Melillo 5421. It's from LongIslandPickleballPros.com if you want my paddles and 10% off. And thank you all very much.
I have one more
Go
quick
ahead.
question for Amber. Amber, what paddle do you play with?
The Aero Cyclone. So I'm sponsored by them, but
Okay.
it's my new sponsor. I just signed with them.
Why do you like it?
It's amazing. It's honestly I wouldn't just say that. It's like one of the best paddles I've ever used. It's very poppy, it's really helped my hands. It's a very I would say a lighter end paddle, so you can adjust the weight really nicely, but it's a great paddle over.
Good. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for
What
that.
about sneakers? What kind of sneakers you wearing?
I'm so picky on sneakers, so I only use Asics.
Me too. I love Asics.
Only
Yeah.
Asics. I've used it from tennis, and I'm weird about shoes. Like that is one thing about me. I'm really weird about shoes and socks. Like it has to fit very snug.
Yeah.
But I use the Asics like Speed FF or something like that, I think. But they're really light. I like light sneakers.
Yeah, me too. Good.
Yeah.
Guys, thank you all very much.
Thank
It's been a
you.
blast.
Thank you guys for having
We'd like to have
me.
you back on again after your tournament. Sue, thank you. Amber,
Good
a big
night.
shout out. Thank you very much.
Thank you guys for having me.
Thanks.
Frank Melillo 5421. Guys, see you all.
Bye.
Thanks.
Bye.